I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We welcome to the show CutieKyubii. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, thank you so much for coming on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi there. My name is CutieKyubii. I'm a pastel purple fox VTuber. That's all I got so far. I'm in the middle of kind of rebranding myself a little bit to fit more of the aesthetic that I'm trying to vibe into more.
And what is that aesthetic that you're vibing into?
I'm going more back towards a nostalgic aesthetic for me. I grew up in the late 90s to mid 2000s, so the aesthetic was called Cinemo at the time, and I ended up abandoning my aesthetic after becoming a late teenager because back then there was a lot of bullying and a lot of people that othered people like me back then. But now I've abandoned all that, so I'm trying to reacclimate myself and let myself be free to fully express again.
Well, that's something that I'm glad that you're able to do, at least now at this point in your life, to do something like that. And VTubing, I imagine, helps you do that quite a bit.
Oh yeah, VTubing has been a really big help for me exploring not only my style, my aesthetic, but also my gender a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So being transgender, it's really interesting being able to step into the VTubing space and freely express, like I was saying, but then also because my gender doesn't fit the norm either. I've been able to express that a little bit more openly, and it's felt really nice.
Yeah, well, not only that, but here in this particular medium, you present yourself as whoever you want to be, not what somebody else wants you to be. If you're an independent, obviously, I mean, if you're going into some sort of a contract and you go by the contract, but here you are CutieKyubii. You are exactly to whoever is out there on the other end. That's how you're representing yourself.
Right.
Now, you get to determine the backstory. You get to determine the points of origin and all of that. There isn't any, sometime in third grade where you ripped your pants picking up a eraser in school. That's nobody's gonna remember that. You get to start from scratch.
Yeah, nothing. And also, I'm 30 years old now, so even if I make a silly mistake like that, who's gonna hold on to that to where it matters,
Well, I'm 60, so if I do something like that, they just he's old.
Yeah.
We're used to it by now.
Yeah.
If he ain't got it fixed by now, he ain't gonna get it fixed.
Yeah, and sometimes we don't have to fix it, Sometimes we're perfect as we are, even with our little mistakes along the way.
Yeah. And some of us, it's very tough for someone like myself who grew up, 20 years earlier than you, a generation before you, where we had completely different definitions for people, which is kind of sad. You have to define that anyway. But as far as how they identify their gender and their preference, all of that stuff, it was, in a sense, rougher for a lot of people who were going through gender dysphoria. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. For those of us who weren't, it was a lot easier. I mean, we were like, okay, there's this and this. That's all we got. We don't have to mess with anything else. Are you still having problems with people my age and older not being able to understand where you're coming from?
Oh, sure. All the time. It's hard even, whether just being out in public or even people that I'm familiar with or close to. Older people, even I'd say even people closer towards my age still have a hard time understanding where I'm at. Because like I said, I'm not I'm not on either side, one or the other. I am out there, I call myself fox gender
Yeah.
because that's what I most comfortably vibe with.
You go
And
three
people don't
dimensions.
understand it.
You
Yeah.
yeah, that's the thing. People don't think in 3 dimensions enough. Um, and you've gone the third dimension here. So
Yeah, but
yeah,
I'm really comfortable with it.
let's
And I feel very good with myself. And that's what I think people like to see the most, even when they don't understand it. That a lot of people come to, are you happy? That's all that matters.
mm, yeah,
And that's all that does matter.
yeah. I mean, are you happy? Yeah. Are you causing any problems? No. Well, then who cares?
Exactly.
I mean, it. I mean, I'm not going to see it by the time I'm out of here, but maybe your generation or the generation after that, where we aren't going to have to worry about that garbage, and um, don't chase people down and try to figure out. Just accept people at how they present you to themselves to you,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But hey, we haven't done it in how many hundreds of thousands of years? Why should we start now?
Hmm.
So how did you get started with the VTubing thing?
So I was actually on and off streaming
Hmm.
since 2016.
Oh wow!
2015. Yeah, 2015 actually.
Holy cats!
I got my start streaming just opening Pokemon packs in 2015. And
If you'd
a
just kept
lot of
them closed,
yeah.
you'd be a multi-billionaire.
I know. A lot of up and down in the streaming space for me over the years. And I finally I got very sick.
Mm,
And so I separated myself from a lot of things. I had a lot of bad stuff happening in my life outside of the internet as well. So I ended up having to just take a step back and take care of myself.
mm,
And I ended up seeing, oddly enough, Iron Mouse a couple of years ago. I was watching her do an interview, and I was mostly bedbound at the time. And
mm,
the interview that I saw Iron Mouse was doing, and I'd never seen a VTuber at that time up till then.
mm.
And she was talking about her interview, her health struggles and how VTubing was helping her. And a couple of my friends was like, "Oh, that would probably really help you, have an outlet." And I thought about it for months till I think over a year I thought about it. And then I finally a little over a year later I had a PNG made,
Mhm.
and and it started moving, and I saw it on the screen moving with my talking, and then it all went down from there. I went, hang on, I have to get back into streaming now.
It just pulled you back in. It's like
Yep.
it's
It was like a rope that lassoed me right back in.
it is in fact a movie that would show up on Lifetime.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that one chance.
There's that one chance, the small town girl, she gets sick, she loses her career, otherwise she's just laying in her bed with her friends are hanging out with her. She sees this streamer on the TV, and she's like, wait, I have a chance, I have to go back.
And dips her foot in the water, and then suddenly she's a hit overnight, and an inspiration for everybody else. Um, hey, we just wrote ourselves a movie there.
Yeah, send it to Hollywood right now.
Or wherever Hallmark makes their movies.
Yeah, where does Hallmark make their movies these days?
St. Paul, Minnesota. That's where most of them are set. So once you got back into this sort of streaming, was it comfortable for you right away because you'd done different types of streaming before and different types of content creation? Or was it like driving a new car? You knew how to drive it, but you weren't comfortable with it yet.
It was kind of like learning to drive a new car.
Hmm.
Piloting a new software, because I was using a software called VietoTube at the time, so it had a whole bunch of different buttons, a whole bunch of different settings, and having to remember to manually change the settings during mid streaming.
Mhm.
It was all a lot to take in. It took me a while to get my footing back,
Mhm.
but once I got my footing back, I was I was and still am very comfortable with what I'm doing with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your voice sounds like it, and you don't give out any sort of, you know, I say stressed uh, way of talking whatsoever. Um, and now imagine that whether that follows to what you're doing on stream is something different. I've seen some highlights, you know.
Yeah, I'm a little crazy, a little chaotic on my stream. I gotta have somewhere to let it all out.
So okay, now I gotta address the Mario in the room.
Uh-huh.
When did you get physically attached to Mario?
Huh. Christmas of 1998. It all started when I opened that Nintendo 64 for Christmas of 1998.
Mm-hmm.
I opened it and I got it was mine. It was my first ever console. I got that. I got Super Mario 64 and I got Mario Party, the first one.
Oh,
And I spent dozens of hours over the next several weeks just glued to it. Something about that funny plumber in the red hat, I could not get away from it. I think like I remember vividly being in Walmart when Mario Kart 64 was in there and crying because oh my god, it's Mario and he's in a race car.
what did you do when the sports stuff came out?
I bought it. Got it immediately. I needed it. Me, the little kid, like tugging at my family, whoever I could. Please, it's the Mario sports game. I need the Mario sports game. I had every Mario game that released from the N64 era all the way through till now, honestly.
Wow, good gravy. You still have that?
I still have most of it, yeah.
Whoa, that's a heck of a
I
collection.
still have all the version, like original one releases of all the Mario Party games on the N64. I have the version one release of SM64. I went to get the Japanese versions of some of the games because it meant so much to me to like try different localizations to see the differences.
That's great. I just think that's fabulous. I really do. I to be to enjoy that much, um, and to get into it so much. So, what about the gameplay itself, as far as the Mario games? Which one do you think it for you is the best gameplay? I'm asking
Paper
you.
Mario.
Paper Mario, because
Paper Mario is the RPG.
yeah.
The story, the game, like the RPG elements, the atmosphere of it, the music, all of it. I think all of it for me is a complete game.
Mm.
And it is a great, just wonderful, cozy vibe for myself, at least.
Mm.
And it never left my brain. I still hear some of the music just in my day-to-day life in my brain.
Oh, I'm going to make you mad now, so don't hang up on me. But
Go ahead.
this is not my opinion. I am simply stating what somebody else said about it. That Paper Mario is basically the Zeldification of the Mario franchise.
I could see that.
Hmm.
I could see that. They made it into an RPG.
Mm-hmm.
Zelda's more of an RPG.
Yeah. Even the first one is basically an RPG, you know.
Yeah.
In a way. Not exactly with the numbers exactly like you would think, but it's there. But I played it in the arcade. You know, I was dropping quarters. You know, and then I got the NES and beat the original Super Mario Brothers on the NES at 4:00 in the morning, and then called a friend of mine who was a farmer and woke him up 30 minutes before his alarm went off, and he was very angry. but I had beaten it. And I am overwhelmed by how the gameplay is today. I don't think I can keep up with it quite as much. Although I see a lot of the games my grandson now plays has a lot of the old school. I'm not talking like Donkey Kong version, but old school Super Mario Brothers feel to it a little bit. It's more maybe more like a Super Mario Brothers 3 feel.
Yeah, like a lot of them have good callbacks
Mm.
to older games, and a lot of them just gameplay wise, they have that good feel and aesthetic
Yeah.
nowadays, like they kind of like they did then. If you take it graphically, computing power, all of it. Like if you took Odyssey now, I'd say Super Mario Odyssey. You took it back then, I'd say Super Mario Bros. 3 would probably be the closest thing you would have gotten back then
Oh yeah, yeah.
to what we have as modern day Mario. So
Oh
that's a great comparison, I'd say.
yeah. You've reached beyond my Twitch abilities as far as that. However, I have to say that I have shown my grandson what an OG Mario player can do on occasion. In the head-to-head competitions they have in some of these games, I was letting him win like a good grandpa, and then he said that he owned me, and
Oh,
and then I beat him so badly he shut the game off. So
oh no.
Papa can't play no more.
Nope.
Don't awaken these thumbs. They've been where you don't want to know. Um, so there was a game also on your list that you played, I think, on stream that I saw somebody else bring up the other day as one that people don't talk about enough. That's Mario. Is it Mario and Luigi Superstars?
Superstar Saga.
Superstar
Yeah.
Saga. Now, what makes that different, and why is that such an outlier?
So Mario and Luigi, that series in general, because it started with Superstar Saga, and then it ran with it as a whole series of its own.
Uh,
The outlier for that is you control the brothers separately in the overworld
oh,
and in battle. So they each have their A and B button to control them separately, including through all their moves and stuff.
oh. So you have to have two players.
No, you just use the one. You just use your one gamepad. You typically use your A button for Mario to like make him jump and use his hammer and stuff, and B for Luigi.
Oh,
You just have to have the brain timing and capacity to know when to time jumping who and using whose hammer. It could be a lot to take in.
wow! Just the thought of that makes me go into migraine mode. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean that's like trying
Going
to.
back and forth between the A and B button to control who is who. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be, especially when that came out. I imagine it'd be really tough to do. I mean, I can imagine a
Yeah.
two-player version of it would be easy, but it would be much more doable. But if still, what you're saying is, if you're going as Mario, Luigi just stands there.
You can press B to use Luigi just fine. You control them both at the same time.
Oh lordy!
Yeah.
Well, that no wonder it's an outlier.
Yeah.
That was
And then future games, they added you got a third character in future games, so you get a third button to press.
Tails.
Y, I think, was the button, because they added X and Y to the gamepad eventually.
Well, who's the third character?
Paper Mario.
Oh,
Yeah, they crossed over the Mario and Luigi series with Paper Mario at one point for Mario and Luigi Paper Jam.
well, it's a great title anyway.
It is.
Yeah, and it certainly I got to give them credit for putting that in there because it definitely using it as the Paper Mario. So you can say a gimmick. I'll call it a riff, it automatically adds dimensions to the game. Yet I don't know how it makes it easier to program, but you don't have to worry about the 3D stuff because they make it 2D. They go the other way from 2.5D to 2D.
Yeah, in Paper Jam, they did both 2D and 3D stuff.
Oh, geez.
With the 3D overworld with Mario and Luigi, and then 2D stuff with Paper Mario. It was a big game.
Oh,
it was a really big game.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting that Cartoon Network show that's on Gumball. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good way to describe how that game felt.
Yeah.
You had the clashing aesthetics with one another.
Yeah. By the way, watch Gumball, folks. I'm saying as an old man, it's funny. Watch it.
That's true.
Yeah. So if you were looking to get yourself a chance to tell the Mario folks you want this in the next one, what would it be?
What would I want in the next one?
Yeah. What have they not done that you want?
Wow. I think in the next 3D Mario game, because I think the next one that we would get would be a 3D game. I think the thing that we need is a real full co-op story mode, not just a little buddy mode.
Mm.
We've gotten a lot of little buddy modes over the course of the years where a second player could like assist the player who's playing as Mario, but never play with them. I think a big component is missing a 3D game that features both Mario and Luigi in their own 3D adventure together, that a solo player could play as either, and then two players could play together.
Are you saying free Luigi?
Free Luigi.
Oh.
Hashtag free Luigi.
Give the man a chance.
We had the year of Luigi, and all he got was another 2D Super Mario knockoff. Give him a full game.
Well, I mean, it is certainly that kind of plays right into what you're doing with the Vita, because you've got so many that you can fall back on with just Luigi alone, and Mario and Luigi alone. You can just keep going back and forth with those games for the rest of the time.
Yeah, and I can play them a million different ways.
Yep. And that doesn't even count like bootlegs and stuff. You don't do bootlegs, do you?
I don't really do bootlegs, but I do like to do ROM hacks sometimes.
So what would be a ROM hack that you appreciate as far as that goes?
Let's see.
Or type of ROM hack, I should say.
I really appreciate themed ROM hacks that are usually done for competitions, because it really brings out people's creative juices for specific themes and to see what they can come up with. A good example was there was a Christmas ROM hack competition for Paper Mario recently. I'm in a modding Discord, and I keep an eye on stuff for it.
Yeah.
They did a big Christmas competition, and stuff like that, like themed events and stuff, are really fun.
What about the randomizers?
I love randomizers. That is probably my favorite way to play a game. That's not quite ROM hack territory.
No,
but that is right up my alley.
I don't know. I see. I guess Peanut Butter Gamer did a bunch of it. And I've watched him for years, and it was so tough watching him try to get through these things when literally everything was changing every couple of seconds. There's certainly different levels of randomizers.
Yeah. Yeah, you have your just regular randomizers, then some people go as far as doing what is called Kaizos,
Mm. And,
Kaizo difficulties and stuff.
and Kaizo
Which is
would be
just your
just the
hardest.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is
That's just a type of difficulty, yeah.
you jump into a painting and the coin comes flying at you and kills you.
Yep. You have to have that split second reaction or that coin is going to touch you and end your life.
That's right. That would be both fun and very frustrating. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of hair left anyway. It would just the rest would just fall out as far as that was concerned. So,
I probably have a couple grays attributed to randomizers.
oh, geez, it's some of them look pretty hilarious. I always like watching the Pokemon randomizers because when somebody can walk into a house and be three towns away, it's pretty hilarious. And
Oh yeah, the entrance randomizers are really funny.
yeah, they don't know where they are, and I can't. I that would be just too much for me. It'd be fun. I wouldn't ever finish it, but it'd be fun. It'd be fun.
If you keep a spreadsheet to know which door goes where.
That's right. I can't go into this door, but I can go if I go this to this to this to this, and I avoid that, and I don't go to the uh, to the big battle right away after walking into the out of my front door. That would be nice. Um, so, what other games are you streaming right now?
Right now, I am in the middle of Celeste,
Okay.
and I'm in the middle of Persona 5 Royale. I just
Mm-hmm.
started that. Royal. There we go. Not Royale. Royal.
Now, well, a lot of folks who I, it seems like folks who play Persona 5 really, really love that, and the folks who don't really don't. Do you think it kind of splits down the middle that way?
It's what it seems like.
No.
I've experienced a lot of people who really like it,
Uh-huh.
but then the people who don't either end up having zero interest in it
Mm-hmm.
or do not like it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And well, I mean, it's a certain type of game, isn't it? It's kind of a niche. Um,
Yeah. It's been a very interesting experience because I've never played a Persona game before this.
yeah. Yeah. You can't pigeonhole it. That's for sure. And it's not your traditional, it's not a traditional point and click game either, in any stretch of the imagination. It's got a lot of different things going for it. Um, and it's not a traditional like story game that kind of funnels you to an end either. That would drive me. Do you like those types of visual novels?
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, I used to be into visual novels when I
mm,
was younger. I've had a harder time as I've been sick being into them.
mm,
Persona gives me that vibe kind of.
mm. Yeah,
It's giving me that vibe where I play the game a little bit, I do some stuff, and then I get a story.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's got just enough to it to give you at least the cover of the book anyway,
Yeah.
and enough gameplay to make it not quite there. Again, you can't really pigeonhole it.
Yeah. I don't think I have in my brain what I would describe Persona as a like genre or anything other than calling it Persona.
Yeah, yeah. It's the Persona genre, just like
Yeah,
Kyubii is the Kyubii. That's all there's to it.
exactly.
Yeah, that's plain and right there in your face. So there you go. Um, so I also see the word artiste in one of your bio lines. So it says amateur artist, as in you didn't take classes for it, but you've done it all your life, or you just starting recently.
As in I just started recently.
Mm. So what brought this out?
Um, I did a little bit of art. I dabbled in like traditional art, like just some like light sketching and stuff in a little sketchbook in like 2012. It was early 2010s. I was doing a little bit just here and there, like one every couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
And I stopped. It just too much going on in my life, too many directions in my life. And then I got with my fiance, who I'm with now, and he is an artist.
Mhm.
He has done art for a long time, and they had given me their old iPad with an art program on it, and was encouraging me to just doodle, not do art, but just doodle.
Mhm.
And I had doodled, and I had enjoyed it so much that I started doing more art, and I
Mhm.
got back into actually like doing art again.
Mhm. So, what types of art?
Um, Mostly just digital currently.
Mhm.
I haven't gotten back into drawing anything traditional,
Yeah,
but I just do some little digital doodles for myself. I drew my layout, my stream layout that I just started using.
well, that's cool. Yeah.
And I'm going to be drawing some of my emotes with some bases that I have.
Mhm.
And I've been drawing a little bit of just some personal pieces, some vent art, and a
Mhm.
little bit of fan art here and there for some other VTubers I like.
Mhm. Vent art. I like that term.
Yeah, vent art is very powerful. It's helped me process some emotions when I'm struggling.
Yeah. Is that how personal do you keep your vent art? Do you show anybody?
I don't show anybody. I keep it very personal.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Yeah. That's I talk to a lot of folks who do art now, and it's always people can do whatever art they want to do, whether it's a visual art, whether it's a singing art or whatever. Um, but doing it and showing someone else is something completely different. uh,
Yeah.
Suddenly there's a stage and you're showing it to someone else and your heart's on your sleeve. And even though you're trying not to show it, you really do have your heart on your sleeve and it's ready to get hit by a hammer. Um, I am not that um, confident in anything like that I do to do something like that. Uh, so with you and art and getting the boost to do this, are you getting more confident now in showing your artwork?
I am.
Mm-hmm.
I've even posted a couple of my pieces that I've done over the last, I'd say, year on my Bluesky.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been a big help for my fiance as well, from the encouragement to not be ashamed of it, to what you were saying, wearing my heart on my sleeve with it kind of deal,
Yeah,
and being less afraid to share my creations with the world.
yeah. It's I say confidence, but that really isn't the right word, is it? It's um, courage to do it, and then giving yourself enough of a shield where if you do get shot at, it ain't gonna hurt you.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of bravery.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't have any of that.
I'd say
No.
you do. You do this interview show.
Eh.
That takes bravery.
I married a redheaded Hoosier. That took some bravery.
That takes bravery. Yeah. Getting married takes bravery.
Oh yes, it does. But see, I married an artist myself, and she balances us out because she's really good and I don't. It just pretty much. I'll do. The thumbnails are my art for the most part. So if they turn out okay, I'm happy. That's
As long as you're happy.
yes, yes, or satisfied. I'll go with that at this point. So are you satisfied with where you're at as far as being a VTuber goes?
I think so.
Mm.
I have a community that cares about me, and that I'm building to provide a space that they feel comfortable to just come in and be.
Mm-hmm.
There's no expectations where I am. And I really value that people feel comfortable coming into my space and being who they are and feeling free to just exist, whether they're open about it, like open in my space talking, or just quietly listening and watching.
Yeah, yeah.
I've built a lot over the last like 2 years, and I think I am satisfied. I've made a lot of friends in this space too, and that has filled me.
Yeah,
That has filled a hole that I had.
That was one of the biggest smiles I've ever heard.
Yeah, I'm smiling as I say it. My friends really fill me, and so does my community that I've built.
Yeah.
I am really blessed for what I have built.
Yeah. Tell me, with everything you've gone through, with your health situation and with sorting out yourself, that for yourself, not for anybody else, but for yourself, to have a group of people around the world who you'll probably never meet in person or know their real names or any of that, come back because you are simply streaming, because they enjoy being around you. How does that hit you?
It hits me. um Sometimes it hits me in disbelief.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it hits me in anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it hits me in fear, because that's a bit of responsibility. You know, I've built something, and people people keep coming, and building a community is a responsibility.
It is.
But it hits me well most of the time. Again,
Yeah.
sometimes it hits me with anxiety. Sometimes it hits me with a little bit of hesitation or fear. But most of all, it hits me well.
Any
I don't
imposter
think I
syndrome?
have the words.
Any imposter syndrome type of stuff?
I think I've let go of my imposter syndrome. I think I've done a lot of work over the last 2 years. I had that early on.
Yeah.
I had that early on in my VTubing days, like in the first year. But I think I've done a lot of work to make myself let that go, because it wasn't good for me. It was making me try to overperform and to act in ways that were outside of myself.
Yeah, you're never comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're constantly kneecapping yourself. I've done it. I don't know how many times over the years I've done at the radio or this now, is where I'll do something and have something achievement, and then I'll look at it and like, well, you know, it wasn't all that great because I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must not have been great because I was able to do something, you know. And I hope that doesn't happen for you, because frankly, you have walked the desert. You have carrying carrying the Sphinx. You've been through it, and on the other side, and you have got to. I hope you don't have got to do anything. I hope that you are proud of what you've been able to accomplish, coming from where you come from to where you are now.
I think I am. I think I genuinely am proud of myself and the work that I do and where I'm going and the stuff that I've gotten myself through.
Yeah.
I live by a simple phrase, which is keep moving forward. That is what I am best at.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have kept moving forward, and I am proud of myself for doing that because of where I've gotten.
Yeah. And where you came from, I mean, that's looking back, but let's face it, that starting line was a ways back. And in a few mountains and valleys and asteroid collisions between now and then.
A couple disasters between here and there.
Yeah. But you got here, and things are moving up for you, and you're enjoying yourself with this, and you're moving on as far as being an artist is concerned. You're moving on as far as being a VTuber is concerned. You're entertaining people around the globe. If you're not going to be proud of you, I'm going to be proud of you.
I
Um,
appreciate that.
that's something else. And the courage that you've shown to take these steps is something that um, simply you know simply by being open enough about about what's happened to you and being here and continuing on, whether you want to or not, is kind of being a role model for people.
That's part of why I do what I do, I think.
Mm, yeah.
Um, I don't take it upon myself to be a role model or anything,
Hmm.
but I definitely I do what I do with all that I've been through and
Hmm.
all that I do go through still, and kind of be as open as I am and as transparent as I am, because I think I want others out there that are struggling, that might see me, to know that like they're not alone, you know?
Hmm.
Even if other people are struggling, they're not struggling alone.
Yeah.
And that they can get through their struggles just like I can. Even if it's different than mine.
Hmm.
We
Oh.
can all get through our struggles. And I wear myself so openly because I want to show people that even through the darkest of days, you can still create a light for yourself
Hmm.
or find that light around you.
Yeah. And you never know whether that match you light in the darkness is the only light for somebody else.
Yeah,
It's worth it just for that alone sometimes. Um, I got to ask this question, and if you don't want to, if it's too much, just tell me. But when when you turn the corner and you realize that you weren't, on the, you know, A or B scale of the gender and all that stuff, and you became comfortable with what you are, would you say that you won a battle in doing that, or was it a case of surrendering to what you actually were?
I'd say I won a battle with that.
Mm.
I won a battle not just with myself, but with my demons, if that makes sense. With
Yes.
some things from my past, some internalized hatred even.
Hmm.
I won a battle with myself, internalized, cringe or whatever, and I let myself be free.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. There is a difference, and um, some people it's acceptance, and for other people, some people fight to find out uh, who they actually are. And you still got a long way to go.
Yeah. I've been fighting for a long time to find me,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I've been finding me over the last few years. And this was one of the biggest parts of finding me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you got a good head on your shoulders for this to continue too. Now you're gonna be tweaking things. You said a little bit with what you're doing with VTubing. So go over that again with me. Do you have specific plans for tweaking what you're doing?
Yeah, so I've recently rebranded, like soft rebranded, quote unquote, my stream. I was on hiatus for a couple of months because I was trying to get some new assets. I was like bouncing around with some personal life stuff as well.
Right.
But mostly I was like working on a new design and some getting some new assets, like I said, and I made a new stream overlay and chatting overlay for myself.
Mhm.
And I'm working on also getting some new chat toys. I want to add a bunch of stuff for my chat to be able to interact more.
Yeah.
and make it, like I said, more at home for me.
Mm. Yeah, it's good. So
Make
you're
it more.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I said you're kind of personalizing it more.
Yeah.
Mm.
I even went as far as like I had a very basic layout before, and drawing my layout, I added a bunch of like little PNGs of
Mm.
like my comfort characters and stuff, like
Mm.
little plush PNGs onto like my little desk that I made to personalize it.
Ah, you know, I'm absolutely jealous that of people who are creative like that. You know, I'll record in like a secret third channel, something like that underneath it. But um, to have that type of a vision is fascinating to me. I don't have that sort of vision, and I just talk. But it's great that you've been able to find a way to not just help discover yourself, but enhance your belief in yourself. Am I wrong?
No, I'd say you're right.
Mm.
That's a great way to describe it.
Yeah. Yeah. And to have that broadcast to the whole world, potentially, I mean, only about 90% of the world could actually see it. Uh, uh, um, think about that in your nightmares.
Mhm.
Um, that takes some courage too, and to keep going with it, and is continue to enjoy it is quite a blessing. And I am very glad that you've been able to do that and continue to do that, not just for other people, but for yourself too. This is you wouldn't still be doing it if you didn't enjoy it, right?
Right. If I didn't enjoy it, I've definitely had my moments of stopping again.
Yeah.
But every time I was like, no, I enjoy this too much.
Yeah.
I can't stop. I have too much fun.
Yeah. I wouldn't put anything past you at this point, you know. I don't think you're going to let anybody take away things that you enjoy at this point in your life. And
I think I've done that too much
yeah,
in my life.
yeah.
And now I'm done letting people do that, and that's part of my journey here.
Yeah.
Part of my journey VTuber.
It's a wild journey, folks. We're going to have the links that you can see what CutieKyuubee's got going on, and follow them, and just a neat person. And I thank you so much for coming on. It's an absolute pleasure talking with you, and a wonderful story. You are one of those triumphs I talk about. People who aren't the product of their surroundings, but the triumph that emerges from those surroundings. You're one of those folks. And thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.